you already kind of touched on a guy said, "Oh, you can't really talk about that kind of stuff."
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
what was the general consensus of your peers
Oh yeah,
about
like
headscarf diaries?
no one liked it. Women really liked it in the beginning. I say in the beginning because they really liked it because I was saying stuff that the women really liked, you know. So I'd be talking about going on dates or whatever, and there were a few times when I did get dragged because mentioned something about cheating and respectfully cheating, and all the ladies went mad on me. So I was getting dragged from early, to be fair, if I'm being honest with you. It wasn't like I've always kind of said things that maybe people don't agree with, but I don't think anyone really. I know my mum didn't like it. I know a lot of my friends didn't like it, if I'm being honest with you. Like, a lot of them didn't, actually. It wasn't just that one person. A lot of them was just like, ooh, it's a bit like, why are you talking like that? Why are you saying that? What's that about? No, I don't think. I'm trying to think. There was obviously a few people that would be like, oh, that's sick. But I would say, actually, my friends around me, they didn't really like it too tough.
So you felt like there was a lack of support?
Um, Yeah, but I don't take it personally. I don't think it was a lack of support. I just think it was a lack of understanding and actually just being quite protective, if that makes sense, because we know how women, you know, get tarnished, you know, being this person. If you speak a certain type of way, if you carry yourself a certain type of way and whatever. And I think that's what they were probably more worried about. But my thing was always just like, oh well, like, it is what it is. I remember, like, the first time um I did, I'm probably jumping ahead, but I did the Zeze Millz show, and I said, I think which was probably the wrong thing to do, but I think that was the first time my mum found out that I had been with a woman. I should have told her before. So I said it in the thing, and she sent me the link and was like, what's going on? Like, why don't you keep anything to yourself? And da 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 da. And I would just remember being like, look, I just don't think you should watch the show. You're not going to like it. I'm not going to change. Like, I'm not going to stop talking about things like this. So if you don't like it, I just don't think you should watch it. And then I remember I sent her some flowers, and I wrote a note, and I said, hopefully one day it will be worth it. Like, hopefully one day you'll see that it will work out. And yeah, I mean, maybe, yeah, I think hopefully she has seen it's all right. It's doing okay.
So what was that dynamic shift like? Because obviously you and your mum are
Right.
so
Yeah.
close to then that.
I think I'd moved out by then.
Okay.
So it was definitely easier to deal with because I didn't see her, you know, so it was definitely, but I understood. And again, that's because to be fair, I didn't understand. I remember called my friend and I was like, to her, well, look at this she sent me. Like, why is she being like this? And my friend was just like, well, no, like, she's your mum. Imagine finding out something like she's, of course, like, it's not, and she wasn't angry about whoever I'd been with. It was the fact of like, why are you telling everyone this? Why don't you just keep this to yourself? Why does everyone need to know your business? Like, why are you talking about sex anyway? Like, people can see this on the internet. Do you realize this? And whatever. And she remembered her saying to me, like, come on, like, she's your mum. She's going to feel a certain type of way. You know, maybe you should give her a heads up next time if you're going to talk about things like that. You know, and I understood it. And I was like, okay. And that's when I was like, fine. I sent her some flowers and I put the little note in there and I just said whatever. But I did say, like, don't watch it. Now she watches my stuff and she'll, like, send me, you know, like voice notes. And yeah, my friend said that, you know, they watched this episode. It was really good. Or she'll tell me, or she'll give me pointers like, the thing is, he was going to say something really interesting, but you cut him off. And that's really unfortunate. Maybe next time let them speak. I'm like, all right, mom. Like, okay, cool. But so now she and not even just, she came around pretty quickly, to be fair. And I think that was because when I was going out, a lot of women actually back in the day, when I used to talk about colorism a lot, they would come up to me and say thank you and be like, thank you for talking about colorism. I've always wanted to kind of, and you kind of say what we want to think. And I think a couple of times when I was with her, girls came up to me and she kind of noticed like, oh, okay, like, although I might see just the videos of you talking about sex, there's these other things that are having a positive impact, and there's women that are coming up to you and having conversations about colorism with you and telling you. So I think when she saw that a couple of times, that kind of shifted her opinion on what I was doing, really. Yeah.
So where do you think these difference in personalities came from?
I don't know, you know, that's a good question. I don't actually know. I don't know why or how. I don't know, but because my family are quite open anyway. Like, I've got older cousins, like my oldest cousin, she's always been, you know, very open with us, you know, about woman bodily parts, men bodily parts, and sex and all those type of things, and make sure you're this and make sure you're that. And so my family has always kind of been open with that, and I've always had good relationships with people in my family where I can talk to them about different things. Like I'll speak to her wife about, like, me and her wife will sit down and talk about, you know, like I was saying to her one time about this girl, and she was just like, so yeah, da, 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 and she'll give me this, and then we'll be sitting there, my cousin will be like, what are you two talking about? And we'll be like, we're talking about sex. And like, so I've always I've got that nice environment with my family where we can talk about everything and anything. So yeah.
Her wife, did you say?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have lesbians in your family, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that a situation where, you know, you're open to it because of that? Because you're saying that, you know, there's...
No, I don't. Do you know what I say to my friend yesterday? Like, from young, I went to Sylvia Young, right? And I know a lot of people think I've been around young people referring to themselves as gay from the age of 11. Like, the guys in my school would be like, I'm gay. So I've been around that environment of, you know, like now people are like, you know, the kids, they're saying this, it's too... I've been in that world of people like knowing about their sexuality from a young age, you know, and it was just normal for me. It was just like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, right, okay, fine, it is what it is. Or but then, yeah, my like my cousin and things like that, yeah, it's just all, again, I've always kind of been around it, if that makes sense. And I don't think that's probably why. No, I just think I like to look at girls, so you know, I like to be around them, you know. So I don't think that's got anything to do with... No, I don't think so. No, if anything, it's been easier because I can talk to people in my family about it. I can have discussions, and I can have open discussions about, you know, the LGBTQ community. I can have that discussion and openly frank conversations as well, and not just like the ones where you have to have like the PC to make sure you're saying the correct thing, like actual conversations where I'll be like, okay, what do you think of this? And because you're living this life, like, what do you think? And she'll be like, no, I don't agree, or I do agree with this. And that's what, again, that I like. And that's, I think that's why I'm so able to look at things in different ways, because I talk to people that think differently from me. I don't just have friends that we're all the same. I think like echo chamber friendships are weird as fuck. Like, all your friends think the same, which is basically like Clubhouse, you know, like where everyone thinking the same thing. The moment you say something wrong, you're now cancelled. So yeah, I don't like that stuff.
So do you like to label your sexuality, or not really?
No, not really, because I'm not... Because actually, I had a conversation with the rapper Mr. Strange, who's like openly gay, and he was saying we did on Plus 44 actually like a gay pride special, and he was saying that, because I was like, I don't, you know, sometimes I've been with women and I have, and he was just saying, you don't even realize the privilege of you saying, sometimes I feel like that, sometimes I don't, because he was saying that as a gay man, he doesn't get to pick and choose when he decides whether or not he wants to be with a man or not. That's just how he is, right? And he has to live with whatever comes with that. So when, by and large, like heterosexual people, which I probably have been with, I've definitely been in relationships more with men than I have with women. When you get to kind of like be like, well, yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, you're actually showing your privilege, as in, that is a privilege in itself, that you don't have to tell anyone. You can just say, whether or not I decide. So when he said that to me, I actually kind of took a look at myself and I was like, okay, yeah, I understand that. So I don't really like to label it, because, but I do know, and I spoke about this with Nadia Rose actually, when I did interview with her, and I was saying, you know, I don't, and then there was loads of people in the comments like telling me what I was. No, actually you're pansexual. No, actually you're this. And I was just like, well, who says? I just sometimes, you know, things happen. It doesn't now I need to put a label on it. And I think that works best for me. Yeah.
Do you feel like the fact that, one, you're a black woman, and then two, you kind of don't label your sexuality, do you feel like it kind of puts you more and more into that minority kind of like bracket?
No, because I think by and large, that's what I'm saying. I think by and large, I would always say I go for men. Do you know what I mean? I have been with women, so that's why I'm very wary of like labeling myself, because not because it's a thing. I'm very wary of not just labeling myself because it's the trendy thing to do now. Do you know what I mean? Because there are, you know, bisexual women and bisexual men that go through a lot on their day-to-day life because they are living that life, and I don't necessarily feel like I'm living that life all the time, so I'm very wary. I don't want to take away from them the struggles they may be going through because, oh, you know, I've been with women or I find women attractive, because I don't know, it's just a personal thing. I just think it's a little bit unfair in a way, so I'd rather not, because yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't think it's fair. In a weird way, people probably tell me no, like, why not? You, if you like women and you like men, then yeah, that's what you are. But I just think after I had that conversation with him, I just thought, yeah, sometimes it's not every day. Like, try and jump onto everyone's thing. Like, people that are living it, and let them have that, if that makes sense. Yeah.